Princess Elincia's newly formed Crimean Army, with Ike as its commander, marches to Tor Garen and claims its first victory. Tor Garen is a vast wall guarding Daein's border. Manned by battalions of well-trained soldiers, it was long thought impenetrable. Yet, the strength of the Crimean army under General Ike's leadership far outstrips Daein's expectations, and Tor Garen falls. Learning of Gallia's increasing interest in the war, Ike wastes no time ordering his troops further into the heart of Daein. The gears of history, which had come to a halt with the fall of Crimea, slowly creep to life once more. Chapter 19. Entrusted.
Naesala, King Naesala of Kilvas, I would speak with you now.
Oh, if it isn't General Petrine, what brings you up to these frosty mountain peaks?
I've no time for pleasantries. Is it true? Has Crimea's army breached Tor Garen?
Though I am loath to report it, this appears to be the case.
Bah! Kayaki, you worthless dog. Being defeated by that girl's motley band just proves how useless he was.
Surely it's not the general's fault alone. He was told that Crimea's army was weak and that Tor Garen was impregnable. And yet, he was defeated. I'd say that someone severely underestimated our enemy. Wouldn't you?
What was that? Do you dare to insult Daein, Crow? Men have forfeited their lives for less.
Insult Daein? Never. Come now, General Petrine. I'm merely stating the facts. Regardless of the previous battle's outcome, Crimea's army will be stopped here. I will be taking the field myself.
Sounds like you've set the stage for a grand performance.
General Petrine, Kilvas will always stand at Daein's side. As long as we receive our payment, of course.
If gold is all it takes, then may our friendship never end. See to it that your performance warrants such consideration. Amasa, come here.
Yes.
Work with King Kilvas and put a stop to Crimea's army. No screw-ups, or else.
Leave it to me, General.
I will not suffer another failure, King Kilvas. You must finish them and do so quickly. Are we clear? I am sick to death of being made a fool by that Crimean floozy and her pathetic band of sellswords.
And the remaining portion of my fee?
Don't worry, we have it already. You'll get paid when the job is done.
As long as we're clear on that point, everything's settled. Well then, I'm off.
Dog's breath. Even by half-breed standards, those crows are complete scum. Give that one even the smallest opening, and he'll steal the eyes from your skull. What an untrustworthy wretch.
Ike, I'd like to report the results of our last battle. We earned 3,689 gold from selling pretty much various random items. We spent a fair bit, but hey, we still got plenty of money. Otherwise, we earned 1,188 points of combat EXP and gained 300 points of bonus experience. Very nice. Our MVP was Jill, who would have guessed, and we got Tanith, Rayson, Ulki, and Janaf, which we'll be putting to use this chapter. There were no deaths and no injuries beyond our capabilities to heal. Everyone performed exceedingly well. That is all. By your leave, I will excuse myself. Oh boy. Well, first things first. Let's take a look at how our units are doing. Herein, you absolutely don't need to be carrying around random coins. There's really no point. Otherwise, I could have him start using lances, but honestly, he really doesn't need to. Let's see. Oscar, I think I'm going to give away the shade, and then let's see. Do we have another axe I can give you? Steel axe. Sure. Looks good to me. Mist, you're doing absolutely fine. Soren's doing good. Jill, you could use something. Let's have you... Let's see. You don't have a crit weapon, so have the killer lance, I guess. Grayson's good. Makalov is looking rather fine. Though, knowing that Naysala is going to take the field, you might be thinking to bring something like the Lagoo's weapons. However, I would not recommend this. In fact, on this coming map, you don't want to kill a single Lagoo's. You might be thinking to yourself, what do you mean? Not killing any of the Lagoo's? That's insane. Well, trust me, it's going to pay dividends to not beat any of them. You'll see why. Though, in order to do what we need to do, we're going to need to bring either Ulki or Janaf. Overall, I prefer Janaf just because he's much faster, though Ulki has some better bulk. Still, I find the speed matters so much more, so I'm going to take Janaf. Otherwise, I think everyone else is looking good. Let's see. Do I want to forge a weapon on anybody? I guess for now. Astrid, is there anything else I want to give you? Oh, the Brave Bow. Of course. Brave weapons are pretty awesome. They're very difficult to use, but they allow you to attack twice in a single round. Meaning, if you would already double an opponent, you can quad them. This is invaluable, and man, is it powerful. So, make sure you're putting this to good use. Otherwise, she should be fine with what she has. And then I think I want to actually give Makalov here a steel axe if we can buy them, which of course we can't. Awesome. Though, I guess we can give him a hand axe. I should have done that initially. That would have been a very smart decision, but hey, no worries. Put that in the convoy. And then I don't think there's anything I need to sell. I'll quick look through and just make sure, but I don't believe there's anything. Man, we have so many darn swords. Oh, it's kind of funny. Otherwise, yeah, we're looking actually pretty darn good. All right. So, otherwise, let's see. Makalov. Let's get rid of... I'm going to say the Armor Slayer. Hopefully, he'll finish up using the Killing Edge. But otherwise, he should be fine. Titania, do you have... No, you don't. I was hoping you had a spare steel axe, but the fact that you don't isn't a huge issue. I guess I could just take Jill's. Or even Oscar's, that wouldn't be a terrible idea. For now, I'll just let it ride, it should be fine. Though, I do need to decide who I want to make a custom weapon for. I'm kinda thinking... I mean, realistically, the actual answer is Jill. It's always gonna be Jill. She's just so darn good with everything you make her that it's kind of a no-brainer. Oh, and we can make her a custom throwing axe? Yeah, let's do that. That's absolutely the best idea. Bump everything up. All good. And then... let's give this a nice name. How about... I don't know if I'm going to spell this right, but... Repentance. I think that absolutely fits her. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to make it a nice bright white. And then for now, throw it in the convoy. She'll grab it out in just a moment, and it'll be pretty good. Again, I'm not sure if I spelled that right. I think I did. It's been a little minute. Otherwise, let's get rid of her. You know what? Let's get rid of her steel axe, and we'll give that to Makalov, and she'll take repentance. So Makalov, you can get rid of your iron axe and take the steel one, and you should be looking very nice. Otherwise, I think everyone else is looking pretty darn good. So, let's take a look at those new skills. Who wants them? I'm almost thinking, out of every one we have, I really like putting Wrath on Jill. It increases your critical hit rate whenever her HP is at half or less. And with her having Guard, I mean, I think it's just a good idea. Because she might nullify attacks. She has phenomenal stats. She has really good HP. I'm thinking we're putting Wrath on Jill. It just fits her. Otherwise, we also have Shade, which I believe allows, if we check Volk here, yep, causes enemies to attack other units first. That's pretty useful. Honestly, I could see putting that on Mist, just so that way she's not targeted that often. So, Mr. Soren actually, either could be really good. I feel like I'm going to have Mist be frontlining a lot more often. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Mist. There you go. Should be fine. And then otherwise, how much EXP do we have? 860. That is really darn good. Honestly, I could give a few good levels out, but something I might do, and this may seem a little weird, I might throw some levels to Volk. I've considered it, but nah, I probably won't. Though, just for reference, if you like Volk and you've been actually actively using him, make sure he's about level 20 by now, because some things may or may not happen, so just keep it in mind. Otherwise, let's see, any supports we care about? No, none there. Marcia and Tanith? That could be an interesting one. I don't plan on having them support anyone else, so, sure.
Oh, Marcia, it's been a while. Oh, Chestnuts, Deputy Commander Tanith, what are you doing here? I was just about to ask you the same thing. As Deputy Commander of the Holy Guard, I took this position on Imperial orders. I never would have thought I'd run into one of my former subordinates so soon. We've been together since we crossed into Daein? Oh, I had no idea. Talk about strange luck. It certainly is. I'm so glad I've come across my special subordinate. I've been looking for you for a long time, you know. Deputy Commander, your eyes. Well, why are you squinting at me like that? Are you angry? Oh, I'm angry. I am very angry. Very angry indeed. Right now, I'm weighing my options. Which penalty should I inflict on you for deserting the Benyon Holy Guard? I'm no deserter. Didn't you read the letter of resignation I wrote? Did you think you could cast off your sworn duty by scribbling on a piece of paper? You should know the weight of being a soldier in the service of the Benyon Holy Guard. I'm sorry, but I was in such a hurry. Commander Sigrun is a charitable person. She says she's willing to overlook your desertion. However, I put an end to that nonsense. I told her that I would bring you back at any cost and deliver the appropriate penalty. I hope you're ready. Oh, I just remembered I have to be somewhere really far away. Excuse me, ma'am. Yeah! Stop right there. You're not going to get away this time.
So, yeah, poor Marcia, huh? Otherwise, hey, we can get Kieran and Oscar to A rank. I'm thinking that's a really good idea. Oscar!
Hello, Kieran. Are you going to ask me to return to the Crimean Knights again?
You guessed it. I'm a Crimean Knight, and I'm very proud of that fact. No better friend, no worse enemy. A knight distinguishes himself in battle, returning in triumph to hear adulation from the people and praise from his lord. When you make your name as a knight, everyone knows you. The world is laid at your feet. And above all else, you can defend our beloved Crimea and her people with your own two hands.
That certainly sounds nice.
It's better than the life of a mercenary, cavorting with outlaws and entering battles from which you never return. Why, Oscar, why? I just don't get it. You're my arch rival. That's an honor. I know your true skills better than anyone. If you say you will come back, I'll do everything I can to recommend your honorable return to the Knights.
Thanks, Kieran, but I'm not returning. After joining the mercenaries, I had a chance to see the world. I saw grief with my own eyes. People subjugated by the powerful, losing everything and dying alone. Countries can't save people like that. It's up to men like us, men who are in the thick of the action, to aid those who cannot aid themselves. Besides, I have no use for honor. As long as I can defend the family called the Grail Mercenaries, I'm happy.
Blast! You've outdone me again! How can this be? I don't know why or how, but I feel you beat me yet again.
You didn't lose. There are many things that a brave knight like yourself can do that we mercenaries cannot. So, let's both do our best. We may stand on different sides of the field, but we aspire to the same ideal.
I see. Then I will ask you no more. Watch me. When Crimea is fully restored, my distinguished services will resonate throughout the ages. You'll hear about it wherever you are. I'll make sure of it.
Yes, I'm sure you will. And when I hear your brave tales, I'll toast your success.
Yeah, I like that conversation that they kind of are like, all right, fine, whatever. Otherwise, I could have Marcia actually talk with Kieran. That wouldn't be a terrible idea, just because I don't really have either of these two doing anything else. So maybe I'll consider it. Otherwise, missed. There's really no one else here that's going to matter, especially because you already got Jill to A. So I don't expect to see anything else there. Otherwise, Oscar and Ike is not a bad conversation for them to have at all, but I personally want to save Ike's for something a little later, I think. Rolf, I do not care. Shannon, I do not care. And everyone else is pretty much just eh. So, sounds good to me. Otherwise, what info do we have? Jill!
Bye. See you later. Yep. Oh, missed. Watch your step. It's slippery. Whoa! Missed. Ow. I landed right on my butt. The snow's cold. Be careful. Alrighty. Hey, watch, Jill. I'm gonna make a snow angel. Whee! It must be nice to be so cheerful.
Jill.
Who's there?
It's me.
Captain Har. But this is an enemy camp.
I've been trying to track you down ever since you disappeared at Toha. I figured you were off chasing after the Crimeans. I never imagined that you would join up with them.
At first, it was just circumstance, but But now it's different. Now I'm with them because I want to be. Spending time with them and coming into contact with Lagoos has shown me what a fool I've been.
Lagoos? I never thought I would hear that word from someone who once said subhuman with such absolute hatred. Sounds like you've had some good experiences with this happy little band.
I knew that if anyone would understand, it would be you, Captain.
So, you're forming your own set of values for the first time. That's good. That's very, very good. But what are you planning to do now? If you keep moving forward, you're going to face General Shaharam before long.
Causing trouble for my father was never my intent. However, as a member of this army, I will face him with my shoulders straight and my head held high.
So, you're determined to see this through.
I am.
So be it. Then there's nothing left to be said. Farewell. The next time we meet, it will be as enemies. Prepare yourself and get some rest. You know how important it is.
Can I talk to you? A few minutes ago, a man I've never seen before showed up and spoke to Jill. I wasn't sure what was going on, so I went and found you. What should we do? Whatever they're talking about, it sure looks serious.
Jill trained in the Daein army. Fighting against her countrymen will be tough, no matter how prepared she thinks she is.
I don't care what happens. You can't let her fight against her own father. All right, Ike?
It might not be a bad idea to keep her at the base camp, just while we're in Daein.
And admittedly, that is a massive hint for you. Notice how Mist is specifically the one to recommend you do not let her fight her father, and that Ike even recommends you might want to leave her behind for that map. Under normal circumstances, if you have not gotten Jill's A support with Mist, should you have Jill fight her father when that time comes, she'll actually defect to their side and you will lose her forever. However, if you have obtained Jill's A rank conversation with Mist, she will fight her father. And, let me tell you, it's kind of a really grim scene. It's one of my favorite parts of the game, and it's really the honest reason why I wanted to absolutely show it off. It may not be very fun, but I think it's such a darn cool scene that I think people need to see. So while it won't happen this chapter, understand that that's coming up. So, buckle up. Otherwise, Janaf, what do you got for us?
Brr, I'll take on any number of enemies, but this snow is another story. I think my beautiful wings are icing over.
That sounds like trouble. Are you going to be able to fly?
Yes, of course I can fly. These wings aren't for looks, you know. They're made of flesh and blood and feathers. It's not like I'm some animal that has to hibernate when winter rolls in. Sheesh, can't you, Beork, tell the difference between comic exaggeration and serious conversation?
Oh, I was supposed to laugh, was I? Sorry about that.
Oh my, such sincerity. This is unexpected. It looks like someone taught you manners. By the way, I've been meaning to ask, what are our chances for victory?
We're still at an extreme disadvantage.
What? That's not the answer I wanted. You gotta do better than that, Beork General. I'm here. If we lose, how am I ever going to show my face in Phoenix again?
We're at a disadvantage, but I don't intend to lose. There's a man in Daein that I need to find, and I will be the last thing that he sees.
Haha, well said. I wish you could repeat that to today's younger generation. There's some weaklings back home that I don't even want to call hawks. I'd love to stick them back in their eggs and start over from scratch.
Hey, you hatch from eggs?
I was speaking figuratively, you know? Like a metaphor, we haven't hatched from eggs for many generations now. Silly Bayork. Alright, I'm out of here. I gotta warm up the old wings before battle, or who knows what might happen. I figured that egg thing was a joke, but I had no idea it ever really happened. Bird tribes. Go figure.
Yeah, kinda funny. And, Olkey, what about you?
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Oh, General Ike, what is it?
It's nothing, really. I just thought I'd say hello.
That's considerate.
Your king is very generous, isn't he? And it's not just Racing I'm talking about. He left us his 2 retainers as well.
How do we pertain to the king's generosity?
I guess it's because Racing kept apologizing. I just thought that... Am I misinterpreting something?
I don't know, but I know that the king can survive without our help.
Is that true? That's pretty amazing. I've been given the title of Lord, but I still can't run this army on my own. Titania and Soren handle all the little details, and that's what keeps us from collapsing into chaos.
Our king does nothing special. Everyone just does what's needed. There is no chaos.
He's really trusted, isn't he?
That's natural. In Laguz society, the strongest become king. Unlike the Bayork, kingship is not tied to blood, so we have no weak kings. I'm sorry, perhaps that was improper.
No, I agree with you. Choosing a ruler by strength instead of birth makes much more sense.
When we face Benyan troops, we target the units with weak leadership and eliminate them first. Bayork weapons can be very powerful, but not everyone wields them well. Since Bayork also choose generals by bloodlines, their competency is uneven. That is a weakness of Bayork armies. As for you, General Ike, the time to prove yourself is approaching.
It's true. No matter how strong the individuals are, that strength is worthless if they're weak as a unit. An army's power comes from leadership and management. That's good to remember. Thanks.
So yeah, honestly, some pretty nice insight from Olkey. Kinda cool. Otherwise, I feel I'm pretty content. Maybe we'll game a level or 2 while we're at it, just because I know there were a few people who were pretty close. So let's take a look. Oscar's close, Mist is close, Sword is reasonably. Astrid is, but she has Paragon, I'm not worried. Racing, but admittedly his levels really do not matter. Titania, we could try to get her a level, but again, I don't know that we're going to be using her. So maybe let's give Oscar and Mist a level, see how that goes. Magic, speed, luck, and defense. Huh. Sure. Why not? At this point, out of all my Lance users, I want to say he's easily the highest magic unit we have, which is really strange. Usually it's Marcia for me, but I suppose Oscar wants a certain weapon that's coming later. So, sure, why not? Otherwise, Mist, I actually am going to save the game just before you, because I really want her to start gaining strength levels, as weird as that is. I mean, granted, it's less weird now that, she can use weapons, but you get the point. I would like to see some strength. HP, strength, speed, luck, and res. All right, I like it. Then anyone else I want to do while we're here? Not really. I mean, there's a few that are kind of close, but no one else who I really care about. Maybe Soren, I could see trying to get him maybe another strength level. So maybe let's try to do that. But otherwise, he's been doing fairly well, so I'm not all that worried. So let's just give him the little bit of EXP he needs, and let's see if we can get him a nice level. Magic and res? I'm gonna reset that one. I'll be back when I get a level I actually like on Soren. All right, HP, skill, speed, and defense. I'm thinking that's a fairly good level. I do like Soren gaining defense on the off chance that he does take an attack, and more skill is always nice. So I think that'll be pretty good. Otherwise, we'll save the game. Let's jump right into that chapter.
So, General, there look to be a lot of enemy soldiers ahead. Mostly Daein, but there are some crows from Kilvas as well. More than our last fight. Yeah, there's a lot, but the most troubling thing is that King Kilvas is with them. The Crow King himself is cooperating with Daein? Yep, and compared to the other crows, the king is in a class by himself. Obviously, he's no match for our king, but anyway, you should move carefully. An entire unit under the command of King Kilvas? I think that bodes ill for us.
The outcome of the battle hinges on how we deal with them.
Kilvas soldiers, as fellow bird tribe Lagoos, what can you tell us about them? Please don't lump us together with those carrion birds.
We're not partial to the crows.
As you know, we are outmanned by the Daein troops. Is there any way to get the ravens to withdraw? That would be a tremendous help. Well, I suppose I could go meet with King Kilvas if I had to. I don't think that my speaking to him is going to make a difference, though.
If you like, we will try, but don't expect anything to come of it. No matter the circumstance, I will never again speak to a crow. No matter what we decide, sitting here like this is giving the enemy more time to prepare.
You're right. Come on, let's get moving.
So, there's your huge hint for this chapter. This is also the same reason that I'm actually going to be bringing Janaf. Otherwise, we absolutely do not need Rolf or Volk. So, let's see. You could bring both of them. I'm just going to bring Janaf. Otherwise, in terms of other units we could bring along, this isn't a terrible time to bring Stefan. You could also bring Titania if you really want, but she's really starting to fall behind. And frankly, I feel better just bringing Stefan. He is so much more attuned to fighting from here on out than, say, Titania, though he will be a bit slower. Still, we'll bring him along. Should be just fine. I don't believe there are any chests for Volk to go after. And I mean, look, if you're wanting to use Shannon, feel free, but man, you're really going to be regretting it. Otherwise, our other usual members should be more than enough. Otherwise, I guess we can view the map real quick, see what we're dealing with. Bunch of pretty stock standard units, nothing all that crazy. Watch out for the killer axe. Though we do have ballisticians here. They are a little dangerous. Their whole idea is that they have crazy range, though they usually don't do too much damage. This is going to be what Jill is here for. She's going to be taking out these to get Janaf up here to Naysala. Now remember Tiburn's stats? Yeah, Naysala is equally as scary. He also has the Lagoos band, and he comes with Vantage, as well as Vortex, which allows him to attack with basically like Elwind. So be careful. He's dangerous. Now, as you can see, there are plenty of other Lagoos units on the map. However, if you manage to get Janaf all the way up here to talk to Naysala, and you then have Naysala approach and talk to Rayson after Janaf or Ulki has spoke to him, and you haven't beaten any other Lagoos units, you will receive one of the best items in the game, the Night Ring. This enables Kanto on any unit, meaning Ike could have Kanto, Soren could have Kanto. Now look, Ike is easily the best bet for this, especially seeing as we've given him movement equivalent to a paladin. You want this item, so do your absolute best to not fight any Lagoos. Otherwise, as far as... Oops, not that. As far as repositioning, I like to make it so that Jill is front and center, along with Rayson and Janaf. They're the ones who are going to matter the most in this fight. Otherwise, let's see. Soren, I want you in the front. Makalov, you too. Oscar, you're going to be fine where you are. I would like to have Stefan a little closer. In fact, you know what? I'm actually going to put him up just because he's a little slower. Everything else should be fine. Marcia's not a bad idea to have come up here, but frankly, Jill is so much better suited to it. Plus, she actually can go toe-to-toe with Naysala pretty well, considering everything. Still, don't go fighting him. If you want to try, you certainly have options, but seriously, just leave him alone. Otherwise, we'll save the game and try our best here. This is by no means an easy map.
Sir, the Crimean army has arrived.
I hope they are prepared to pass into oblivion, for this place will be their final resting place.
Crimean stragglers joined with an army on loan from Benyon. I've even heard that they have a betrayer in their midst, and yet they still march on. What an odd group, but as long as Kilvas stands at the side of Daein, they have no future. I suppose they're just unlucky.
Oh boy.
It appears the enemy has spotted us. Well, a group this large is hard to miss. How will you proceed? No tricks, nothing fancy. We'll hit them from the front, fast and hard. I'm sure you're already aware of this, but if you don't do something about Kilvas, you're at a disadvantage. Yes, I've heard about the Ravens, but even so, it's not as if we can turn tail and run away.
Now that I think on it, King Kilvas and Prince Rayson used to be close friends. Did you ask him to speak to the king?
He was most emphatic in his refusal. It seems that Naysala was responsible for Rayson's capture at the hands of Duke Tanas. I can't really blame him.
And the Hawks? They too are of the bird tribes. Surely some connection can be found there.
They weren't very excited about the suggestion.
You could command them to do it.
There's an antagonism between the tribes that we don't understand. I'd rather not force the issue. Trying to coerce them into it would be unfair. I will let them do as they please.
That is so very like you. However, giving orders that are unpopular is often necessary when one is in command and...
Maybe so, but I can only do things the best I know how, my own way. Come, it's time to go.
So yeah, the game is seriously telling you, hey, make sure you do this. And to be fair, it is not bad advice at all. Otherwise, let's see. With our movement, we can get Jill pretty darn far, and frankly, I absolutely want to get her as far in there as I can. The reason being, Naysala will attack the moment anyone enters his range. However, he will attack using the ranged attack, so use that to your advantage. Otherwise, let's have Rayson chant Jill, and she's going to be doing some extreme tanking. If I were you, try to get her to that ballista and take it out immediately. I would equip a ranged weapon on her and do what you can. There's no way she's going to kill Naysala, so don't worry about that whatsoever. Otherwise, let's see. Steel lances, and of course, they got javelins and short spears. So let's see here. Naysala, you can go pretty darn far. So, seeing as I want him to be as close as possible, I actually want to put Jill right about here, give or take. Or here could work. Otherwise, let's... Honestly, I'm thinking we'll equip Repentance just for that extra hit rate. Call it a day. Then I want the damage areas of all the flying units online, just so that way I can see what we're dealing with, because we need Janaf to get in there too. So if we put them right there, it should be good. Otherwise, be careful of these Hawks over here. They are going to transform, and they get an extra 2 movement. So make sure you keep everyone kind of over here. Otherwise, these ballistas shouldn't be too big of an issue for most of our tanky members. So Makalov, Oscar, they should all be fairly fine. Sure, you'll be fine with that. Stefan. Where do I want to move you? You have what, 2 range? Yeah, you have a hand axe, alright. Not a biggie, we'll just move you over here. We'll just keep you with the steel blade, should be fine. Makalov. Yeah, I kind of want to move you up, as weird as it is. So we'll put you there. Don't rescue. We'll keep the killing edge equipped. And then let's see. I don't really want Soren to get in there. Just, you know, for physical units, but he should be fine. Tanith, I'm going to have go over here. And I'm considering reinforcing just to try to bait other units. But I don't want to deal with it for now, so I'm thinking it'll be fine. Otherwise, Ike, you can get on in there. Let's see. Iron Blade should be fine. Astrid, you'll be A-okay. In fact, if I put you right there, I want to say, yeah, you'll fight the guy with the bow. Or, well, you'll fight him with your bow, and he uses a hand axe. So it's not a terrible idea. So let's do that with the steel bow. Marcia, you can come on in. Again, I'm trying to be very careful of the Hawk units, so we'll give them a wide berth. Mist, there's really nothing you can do this turn. Kieran, I'll just put you in here somewhere. Should be fine. Ooh, that may not be good. I think I spaced it out well enough that that bird won't be able to get to Jill, but we're gonna see. Because again, we placed her just at the edge of where Naysala could go, and that's with range. So we should be okay. We just gotta be a little careful. Otherwise, this should be fine. Nice. I love Vantage. Get that nice crit. Not an issue whatsoever. Beautiful. Otherwise, here come the Wyvern Riders. Shouldn't be too big of an issue for Jill. Nice miss. Repentance doing the work that we made it for. I love it. She'll gain actually some fairly good EXP, all things considered. And I'm really curious who the Ballista are going to go for, but I guess we'll see. Nice miss. Beautiful. Now, admittedly, Jill's res isn't phenomenal, and I want to say Naysala's Vortex would be very effective on her if she didn't have the full guard, but she should otherwise be pretty fine. Her speed certainly isn't high enough to not get doubled by Naysala, but again, she should be absolutely fine, especially with guard. I'm not too worried. Going for Oscar, huh? Not who I would have guessed. They'll go for Jill, of course, which is totally fine. No damage, not a thing to worry about. Hello, Naysala, how's it going? Oh, black wings. Among humans, these are considered bad omens, are they not? Then take these omens as fact and let them herald you to the afterlife. Hey, quit it with that wind magic. Yeah, that's not very fun. Luckily, she'll be just fine. It's scary, trust me, but she will survive. good. All of the Lagoos are taking wide berths of people, which I think they did on purpose to make it so, hey, you can play around them. Otherwise, Janaf, I can get you right up to him. Awesome.
You, King Kilvas, you egg-stealing snake. One of Tiburn's flock, eh? You are his eyes, if I'm not mistaken. It's not enough that you sold the White Prince to humans. Now you're fighting against Lagoos? You Hawks rescued Rayson, didn't you? So everything worked out in the end. What's the problem? I'd like you to repeat those words to the prince's face. Rayson is here?
Here? Why?
He supports the Crimean Army. The Beorc leading this army helped him to escape Serenus Forest.
Helped him? Are you saying a human came to the aid of Rayson? A Lagoos?
Yes, and he rescued Princess Leanne, too.
Leanne is alive?
Don't play the fool. You know the life of the forest has returned. That was their power at work.
I see. That's how the forest... Of course.
Listen up, Crow. You need to fly over there and talk to the prince. If you don't do it, I'm gonna know that you really are the enemy and report that back to King Tiburn. Think it over.
Yes. What to do? There you go. Otherwise, with Janaf, we're gonna just have to let him wait. Luckily, he's not in range. The only bad thing is that Naysala now has to talk to Rayson. Luckily, with how the ballista are positioned, you can get Rayson exactly where he needs to go, and you should be totally fine. Just make sure you're still out of range of the Lagoos. That's the biggest thing you gotta be careful of. Things shouldn't be that bad, though. Let's see. Mist. Let's see. I want to get you over here. Unfortunately, you can't hit Jill there. There we go. That's what I want. She's going to need some real good HP to tank the things that are coming her way. So let's make sure she's good to go, huh? Plus, then we can just move Mist up here. Shouldn't be an issue. Jill, I want you to take out this pesky ballista. We'll get nice and close, actually. Use the Killer Lance. Hopefully save some durability. If not, not a big deal. Oh, she missed one. That's a bit of a pain. Okay. In that case, let's fly her down. She should be A-okay. And then let's see. Astrid. You know what? I think I kind of want Ike going front and center. Also, I thought I saw this earlier. Okay, this guy does have a weapon. I thought he didn't have one earlier for some reason. Or no, it was this guy. Oh, it's because he's a healer. I couldn't tell because the background being all snowy. Makes sense. Otherwise, let's see. Make sure Ike is out of range of the Lagoos. We can move him right up here. He should be totally fine. Who do I want to kill this guy? Makalov, you look like a good contender. That should use up the rest of the killing edge, too, which is kind of the point of me doing this. Unless he gets a crit, which he does. Man, good job, Makalov. You've been critting left, right, and center. Admittedly, with a killing edge in mind, he wouldn't have been the worst with Gamble, though it still would have really hurt his chances, so I feel pretty good about giving him the stats we did, as well as the skills. Right, should be fine. Moving behind Ike. And then otherwise, I mean, it's basically just moving on up and making sure you're staying out of range of the Lagoos. Otherwise, let's see. You haven't transformed yet. Alright, so that should be fine. Oscar, can you take out that ballista for us? That would be real nice. Ooh, you can. Beautiful. I think that'll also use up the rest of the short spear, which is fine. Kind of crazy how we got that short spear all the way back in what? Chapter 5 or 6? Something like that? I think it was chapter 6. And we just now finished using it. It goes to show you that if you're being savvy with your weapon durability, you can hang on to stuff for a very long time. Also, an armor slayer, huh? Ooh, you're a little scary. The long blade. All right, let's see. I'm going to put Astrid right here. Keep her equipped with her steel axe. And then, I mean, after that, it's basically just have everyone fall in line. It's not a big deal. Beautiful. Stefan. Hold up. So we need your range +2. So about here-ish, I'm thinking? Alright, you should be fine getting in there then. In fact, I'll put you back a little just because you're not the most defensive guy. Soren, let's see. Yep, you'll be fine. Look, you still got to play it a little careful. And Kieran will be good there. Aneth can go here. Alright, things should be fine. There's that transfer form I was worrying about. Also, he stepped off of the ballista to heal. Huh. Okay. Sure. Ooh, killer axe. Uh-oh. Whew. Good miss. Kinda forgot he had that. I'm not gonna lie. Still, I think Astrid would have had enough bulk to actually survive that, but still, I'm happy I didn't have to test that. That would have been not so good. Nice miss. I will say, because Astrid gained so much speed and skill, she's going to have a really good dodge rate. So, she's actually a lot more defensive and deceptively tanky. You'd be surprised. Speaking of skill and speed, there she goes, reinforcing it. I love it. This is also great, too, because she's getting plenty of axe experience in. Look at that. All 3 units missed, 2 of which were sword users who had an advantage. Seriously, skill and speed really contribute. Ooh, look. Oh, I was going to say a 4th one. No, he's going for Ike. Good luck. Hey, there's Aether. Look how awesome that is. Man, he didn't stand a chance. Finally, I've been waiting to see some Aethers. Man, how satisfying, huh? Ooh, going for Oscar? That longsword will hurt, but Oscar will do plenty back. Plus, he has soul, so he might be able to heal it next turn. Nothing he can't handle. Beautiful. And we get the longsword. Cool. Oh, and of course, Naysala couldn't talk to him. Ugh. Alright, that's fine. Just means we gotta move around a little more. In fact, can we have Rayson talk to him? No, we can't. That's annoying. Not a huge deal, but it is annoying. Janaf, I don't need you to do anything this turn. One more turn of playing around all of the birds. Which really sucks because it means we can't move up. Because I want to say out of all the Lagoos, Naysala acts last. So you need to really make sure you're being proactive about this. Otherwise, Jill, use the Killer Lance again, and then we'll move you out of range. Sorry, Mr. Bowman. It's, wasn't your day. Still, thanks for the EXP. We'll take it. Alright, we'll move her on down. Beautiful. And then, let's see. Seeing as all those birds are in the way, we gotta be very careful with how we play our cards here. This looks like a great situation to actually get Soren some EXP. Yeah, let's use Elwind. Why not? After all, we did get the Tornado Tome, so if he could learn to use it, that would be really good. Also, hey, nice at that. Took him long enough. Still, he has plenty of skill now, so it makes sense he'd be hitting them more often. Not bad. Not bad at all. We get the Killer Axe. Very useful. And then, let's see. Who do we want to do this? Kieran and Makalov? Maybe Mist, even? Could be good. Ooh, you could kill him. Yeah, not with the Iron Sword, but you could kill him with Frost. Maybe we can set up a kill with, say, Marcia?
You'd probably just outright kill him. Well, it's not ideal. Kieran, kill the bow guy? I'm thinking that's probably a good idea. Ooh, you know what? Let's see if we can set up Mista-Kill on the swordsman here. Because if he misses one but hits the other, I think she could beat him with the iron sword. Come on, miss, Kieran. Oh, alright. Fine, fine. We won't get Mista-Kill with the iron sword. It's not a big deal. It's just, it would have been nice, you know? Ooh, I really gotta be careful, because I realize this guy is untransformed, so he has another 2 movement that he could possibly do. Alright, should be fine. Guess Makalov? Can we go 3 for 3 with crits? Can we go 3 for 3? Worst case, if he doesn't crit him, he'll break his sword and Mist can follow up. Awesome. Alright. Not the correct unit I wanted to do that on, but it should work out. Mist. Ooh, will I actually be able to get her out of there without getting hit by crows? You know, that's something I didn't really take into account. She is quite far behind. Huh. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what? 8, 9? Oh, she only has 8. Goodness. Okay. Well, in that case, is there anyone you can heal? Oscar. Okay. That'll work. So let's use Marcia? Sure. Should be fine. Steel Lance? Yeah, Steel Lance. We'll save Deserter for later. I also do wonder if I spelt that right. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. Because there might actually be 2 S's in it, which, whatever. Look, I never was the best at spelling, alright? Not that I was especially bad at it, it's just, there are a couple weird words you never interact with that much, and it's like, I forget some spellings here and there. Not a biggie, though. Good, good, good. And otherwise, we'll put Stefan in there and basically just get ready for the onslaught. Should be fine. Ooh, you know what? I need to put her right there so this guy can't get to Soren. Alright, should be good. Come on, Naysala, please talk to Rayson. I really don't want to worry about the Ravens anymore. Oh, thank you.
Rayson. Hey, Rayson, look at you. You look sharp, kid. Go away. Oh, so you can talk. You, how dare you show your face to me? Well, I have been called brazen before. Some have gone so far as to say, shameless. Come on, at least let me give you a reason. Be gone. My ears are closed to you. Rayson, we're friends, are we not? Oh yes, friends. In fact, we're such good friends that you sold me to that wretched sack of lard. I didn't really sell you. Besides, I planned on rescuing you right away. You were just impatient and flew away on your own, so... Are you blaming me? No. Well, maybe. I mean, it was I who was in the wrong on all accounts. No one was hurt in the end. Come on, smooth those ruffled feathers, all right? Leanne is alive. Yes, Tiburn's attendant told me. That's wonderful news. When he sees her face, I'm sure King Loraziah will begin to feel better at once. Things are really looking up, aren't they, Rayson? I suppose that if you hadn't deceived me and taken me to the forest, I might not have discovered her. So I will forgive you just this once. Rayson, oh, that's... With conditions. Will you accept them? What? What are they? Pull your troops from this battle, now.
and never again enter into combat against your fellow Lagoos. Oh, come now, Rayson. That's asking too much. What will you do then? Will you continue to fight the Crimean army to which I'm in service? Very well. You win, Rayson. I'll leave and take my soldiers with me. Yet I cannot say what the future will bring. I have the fate of my nation to consider, after all. Very well. So, we're friends again? Come to Kilvas for a visit, will you? Neolucci will be so pleased. I'll do that. When this war is over, Leanne and I will both come. Oh, and as for Tiburn, I'll speak with him. There's no need for you to worry. Thank you. Farewell and watch yourself. This is war, you know? Oh, I almost forgot. I've got something for you. Call it an I'm sorry present. What's this supposed to be? It's a human trinket. It's called a night ring. Something made by Beork? Don't make such a disgusted face. I tried it, and it proved to be quite useful. Understood. I'll take it for now. Don't get killed, Rayson, if anything were to happen to you. Neolucci would never let me hear the end of it. Naysala, thank you. And we get the lauded night ring. Listen to me, Darkwings. We of Kilvas are leaving. Turn at once and head for home. Now here's the other issue. The enemy soldiers will try to fight them. Most of the Ravens should be able to get out, no worries. There are some exceptions, though. Most of the ones to the right are going to really struggle. Now, for every Raven that does escape the map, you will earn bonus EXP. So it's certainly in your interest to try to get them out safely. It just might be a little difficult. Namely, the one who got shot over here. Still, now that they're gone, you should have free reign of things. Otherwise, the nice big thing is you want to get that night ring over to Ike. Though for now, if you want, you could let Rayson equip it. It's an item that, when equipped, allows the wearer a second movement, as with cavalry. So, it enables what is more commonly known as Canto, which is funny considering that Rayson has an ability called Canto, which isn't what is now commonly referred to as Canto. Little confusing, huh? Still, it's very good. I would give it to Ike and basically just enable him to sweep through the game. It is so darn good. It makes him so versatile. I can't praise this item enough. And I mean, hey, now that all of the Ravens are gone, you shouldn't have any issue with the map. Honestly, Naysala is so much more dangerous than the boss ever could be that you really shouldn't struggle. Otherwise, let's see, Astrid. Use your steel axe. And I mean, another turn or two, we should be done with the map. Nothing too hard. I gotta say, after Day Breaks, Chapter 17, I think a lot of the maps from there on out are pretty easy and straightforward. There's a couple maps that are a little trickier, sure, but I never really found them all that bad. Good, let's see, Homasa. Yeah, you've got decent stats, and you also have Adept, so be careful. Otherwise, let's see. Ike wouldn't be terrible. Kieran's not a bad bet either. Though he doesn't have a way to counter at range. Makalov, you're fine. Ike also can't counter at range. Maybe we'll just have Jill deal with him? It's not a terrible idea. Equip Repentance, and then otherwise, I'm just going to get everyone right up to him. And it should pretty much be a done deal. Mist, can you heal anyone? Can you heal the Raven? Yes, you can. All right, why not? May not be one of our units, but hey, may as well. It's probably one of the only times you'll ever see me actually go out of my way to heal one of those units, but sure.
After all, that's potentially bonus EXP, and he even helped us gain real EXP, so can't say I'm against it. Kilvas has betrayed us. I think abandoned would be more accurate, but... Idiot, it's the same thing. Ah, accursed subhumans. We should never have trusted them. Yeah, well, boo-hoo, cry about it later. Hey, don't hit that raven. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's a very big chance he's dead. Oh, maybe not. Awesome. Whew. Had me worried there. Nice. We got all the ravens out. Well, now we did, but still, you get the idea. Beautiful. Oh, and Racin's transforming too? Even better. All right, at this point, let's go fight the boss, shall we? Now, if you notice, it's a pretty darn even fight, and he has a very good crit rate. So be careful. Admittedly, because he has that crit rate, you really ought to treat this guy with respect. Admittedly, I might just have Jill deal with him. That's not great, regardless of what I do. Because let's see, will that kill her if it crits? I don't believe it will. It'll be very close, but if she can land a good hit, that'll let Ike hopefully finish him. My sword is lightning. Do you think you can follow its dance? Well, let's see if you can follow Jill's dance. Awesome damage. Nice. I like it. We'll just put her over to the side. Should be fine. Then Ike. I hope I have a higher hit rate sword. Oh, I do. I have the Regal sword. All right. He should have no issues. Your fighting style is unique. It is rough and awkward, yet terribly strong. Who is your teacher? My father. Really? Then we are the same. My father taught me to wield a sword as well. Neither of us can afford to lose. Ike even scores a crit. The shame. How awesome. You know, this chapter went really well. Hopefully Ike's level goes well too. Yeah, not bad. HP, speed, luck, and defense. Everything a growing boy needs. And that'll end it.
We won. Somehow.
It's because you did an excellent job of driving off the ravens.
Yeah, if we had continued to fight them, we would have suffered more casualties than this. I must extend thanks to Racin.
My Lord Ike, I'm pleased to see you well. You haven't been injured, have you?
Princess Alencia, I'm fine. I'm unharmed.
Oh, that's good. Ike, may I have a word? And if you don't mind, Princess Alencia, would you join us as well? Please join me in that building. What could it be?
Let's go see.
This is
Holy.
incredible, no? It's all gold. All of it.
Daein must be filthy rich. There's so much, it doesn't even seem real. What do we do with it?
It's the spoils of war, so naturally, it's ours.
In that case, I'd like to borrow 50,000. Would that be all right?
That's a lot of money. What are you planning on doing?
It's a private matter.
I apologize, Commander. You're not a child. There's no reason for me to pry. My Lord Ike, please use this gold for the mercenary company. Until now, I haven't had the resources to adequately pay them, so please.
No, if I may borrow the 50,000, that will be more than...
You won't borrow it, you'll accept it, and in good faith. The remainder we'll give to Soren for company maintenance. Would that be all right, Princess Alencia? Yes, of course.
Remember when I mentioned Volk? General Petrian, please, General, I'm just a messenger. However, I have to tell you.
I already heard, you dunderhead. I hated those filthy crows right from the start. Even so, to be betrayed in such a fashion, grr, someone will pay for this. Oh, you certainly had your way with us, didn't you, King Kilvas? But if you want to make an enemy of Daein, then so be it. Once Gallia's fallen, we'll turn our attention to your puny nation and wipe it off the face of the world. Why are you still there? Do you find me amusing? Shall I make my lance dance for you?
No, ma'am, no, never. No, not at all. I beg your pardon. Sorry. I'll be going now.
Dog's breath. I need something, a brilliant plan. If this continues much longer, the king will have my head.
Wanted to see me?
You've waited a long time. Take this. It's the gold you were promised.
Finally scraped it together, eh? I'll gladly accept it.
Aren't you going to count it?
There's no need. I'll trust you.
All right, then I'll take what was promised. The report you wrote for my father.
There isn't one.
What?
There is no report. Never was.
You lied to me? You exploited my need to know more about my father?
There is something I must tell you. However, it could not be written down. It's too great of a secret for that. Your father told me to wait until I thought you were mature enough to hear it, and then to tell you myself.
Mature? Then what was the 50,000 gold for?
The gold. That was my idea. I thought it would be a good way to test how resourceful and responsible you were.
Get started. I want to hear it all.
I've spent a long time as Grail's hired shadow. A long time. I remained hidden from sight in case the day ever arrived that I needed to fulfill my contract. All that time for one job.
What was it?
Grail were ever to go berserk, I was to stop him. I was to take his life.
What?
Actually, there was one other thing. If Grail were ever slain by his pursuers, I was to watch over his son and tell him Grail's secret at an appropriate time. That was my job.
Berserk? What are you talking about? Why would you have to kill my father?
Because of Laurent's medallion.
What medallion? What are you talking about?
The medallion your sister carries.
Huh? That old bronze thing? I thought it was just a keepsake of my mother's. Are you telling me that it's something more?
Grail told me it was an object of great peril, but nothing more. I did some investigating on my own, though. What I discovered surprised me.
Tell me.
Laurent was one of the Heron clan, an ancestor of our Prince Racin, who carried with him a bronze medallion. Long, long ago, a band of heroes defeated an evil god and imprisoned it therein.
An evil god? Do you think this is funny? You are joking, aren't you?
Unfortunately, I'm not, and I've no idea how the cursed thing came to be in Grail's possession. That being said, I do know that the men who hunted your father were actually seeking the medallion. Why they wanted it and what they planned to do with it, just thinking about it gives me chills.
I'm finding all of this a little hard to believe. You said the medallion was an object of great peril, didn't you? Then why would my father allow Mist to carry it around? That doesn't make any sense.
It's because she can carry it safely. Actually, she's the only one who can. Want proof? Think back. Have you ever once touched it?
No, I haven't. A long time ago, I remember reaching out for it while Mist had it in her hand.
My father scolded me harshly. After that, I assumed it was my sister's alone, and I never reached for it again.
Compared to other people, the balance within your sister is extremely strong. Your mother, it seems, was the same. That's why they could bear it safely. Medallion is like a strong poison. It takes the worst aspects of a person and magnifies them 1,000-fold. Grail touched it only once, and it drove him to complete.
So that's what you meant when you said he went berserk?
That's right. Beorc and Laguz are made up of two forces, balance and chaos. In this, there's no difference between us. It's the proportion of balance to chaos that determines how much the medallion affects a person. In that sense, it predicts how much harm that person might do. Your father was one of the preeminent swordsmen of his generation. That day, after he touched the medallion, 20 soldiers had come for him, 20 highly trained killers. Your father barely broke a sweat cutting them down. Then, he began attacking his neighbors, those who had taken him in, concealed his identity, and called him friend. He slew them one by one until your mother rushed in, thinking only to save her husband from himself. It was over in an instant. Your mother grabbed the medallion from his hand and stepped away from him. They say she smiled as he pulled his sword from her breast and forgave him as her life's blood spilled into the street.
My father killed my mother? No, that can't be.
It was the medallion. Its power's too great for any man, even one of your father's caliber. Me, you, if either of us touched it, I'm certain we both would have been consumed by madness. When your father regained his senses, he tracked me down. It seems he'd heard rumors of me sometime before. He said he had need of someone like me, close-mouthed, skilled, and most importantly, willing to do any sort of work. Of course, after hearing what he wanted me to do, I turned him down. Grail was once a famed general. He was Sir Gawain, one of Daein's 4 riders, and I recognized him at once. There was no chance someone like me would ever be able to stop him.
But you took the job anyway. Why did you change your mind?
Grail had lost his wife, and his grief was overpowering. To keep anything like that from happening again, he crippled himself. He slashed the tendons in his sword hand so he could not wield a sword again. I took the job only because he had become someone my skill could handle. Even then, he was still far stronger than most men.
I don't know what to say.
That is Grail's secret, as I know it. I now entrust to you the responsibility of seeing that the medallion does not fall into the wrong hands. Your sister must keep it.
As my father lay dying, he told me to forget everything and live in peace. What did he mean?
He didn't want you to lose yourself and go hunting for revenge, I suppose. He was killed much, much sooner than he ever expected to be.
So, my father's dying wish was for me to protect the medallion? If I can do that, everything will be all right?
I believe so. At the very least, that must take precedent over everything else.
I understand.
Oh, one last thing.
What is it?
Do you want to hire me in the event that you go berserk someday? If we make a deal now, you won't have to worry about it anymore. As for payment, I can take it out of the 50,000 you just gave me. What do you say?
if you've come this far, you know what to do. Please.
That's a wise decision. And in that case, I no longer need to conceal my true identity.
Huh? So this entire time, Volk was not just some random thief. Volk was in fact a highly trained assassin. This is one reason that I didn't really bother on using him all that much early on, because frankly, he isn't really needed for combat. Still, this is a very welcome improvement that comes for free. So like I said, if you really like Volk, put some levels into him before this chapter, and then watch that level up or class change occur.
I'm not really a thief. I'm an assassin. From now on, I'll take on any job you've got, no matter how dirty.
Father, Mother, oh, why?
So yeah, quite the shocking revelation, huh? Ike and Mist's mother didn't pass away from illness. She was killed by Grail. That revelation is, it's pretty darn powerful. And if you said no to hiring Volk all that time ago, I don't know that you ever learned this. So, maybe just go out of your way and make sure to recruit him and everyone else while you're at it, because, you'll get a lot more story that way. Still, I know that for not recruiting certain characters or for, doing certain things like killing Naysala here, having not recruited Rayson and certain things like that, you'll get different and alternate dialogue. So if you're interested in that, you could certainly do a playthrough or leave a save on certain chapters just to try out all the different outcomes. There's a lot that we're not going to see from this playthrough because I'm being as thorough as I can and making sure we're recruiting everybody. Because of this, there's a lot of dialogue we are just not going to see. Still, next time we play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, we'll see what happens, huh? As always, I'm Brad. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.